So follow me.
Okay, let's take a look here. Can it bother you when you're sleeping?
Yes.
But mainly when you're walking, right?
I couldn't even, today is the first day I can count on.
Kind of bear weight on it?
But not that much.
Okay. Let's see here.
But it hurts. It was hurting severely in my sleep after that.
Was it swollen as well?
I couldn't, I can't tell if it's swollen or not, but it probably is swollen, but I can't tell the difference. I just know that it was numb when I went in there first felt, when I couldn't walk on it, it was numb where I couldn't feel anything. It's like the sensation had left.
Okay, let's take a look here. Any pain here?
No.
Any pain here?
Just a little tenderness.
Okay, so basically checking the ankle joint. The ankle joint's pretty clean. You can see range of motion. You can feel that there's any swelling there.
Pinch in the middle.
Little bit.
You can pinch down there. It went down to my arch.
Yeah. This is navicular joint pain there. That's okay. Yes. This is the metatarsal joint, the midfoot joint. The way we test that is called piano key maneuver. Any pain here when I do that? No. Pain here when I do that? No. Pain here when I do this?
Yes.
And pain here when I do here? Okay, yeah. So that's painful. Okay. So pain right there? And pain right there?
Definitely. Okay, so, up all the way to the toes.
Yep. On physical exam, she has pain with piano key maneuver to the fourth and fifth metatarsal joint. She has mild pain with Malloy's test. Very, very mild. Pain? Any pain here when I do that? No pain to the subtalar joint. No pain to the calcaneocuboid joint. Okay. And then any pain here in the toes?
Yes. Yeah. It wasn't underneath, rather.
Okay. Any pain here when I do that?
A little. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Mild pain to the metatarsophalangeal joints with plantar flexion. Any pain on the bottom here?
It's tender. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Pain to submetatarsal 2,
it's
3,
right up to my leg.
4. 2, 3, and 4 submetatarsal pain. Any pain across here?
Yes, bending back hurts real bad, yes.
It hurts in the toes area? Okay. All right. When was the last time you...
I'm following back up with you concerning my foot. I went to the ER and one doctor said I had bone spurs, right? Even though I know I suffer from rheumatoid arthritis, this is one particular situation that it didn't feel like the normal flare-up. There's different type of flare-up and how it impacts you. Sometimes you can get nodules. Nodules is like large, soft tissue or hard bumps. They can be spread all over the inflamed area or the isolated area. They don't have to necessarily be inflamed in pain. It can just pop up anywhere. I've been there. And I had the nodules and I didn't have any pain. Now, sometimes people experience rashes, various things. I experienced the hair loss for a long time. It's just now getting back to where it is. It's getting back. It's not at the length that it is, but it's getting back where I don't have holes in the back of my head, on top of my head. When I say holes, I mean literally bald. Some people think it's alopecia, but it's not alopecia. Well, I guess you can say it's alopecia symptoms, but it's not something that's lifelong. So it's why I say it's not alopecia, because it's not. These follicles are not dead. These follicles are still alive and have the ability to grow. Some people that has alopecia, theirs never grow, or they never get to the root cause to get it to grow. And so they continue to suffer with alopecia because they don't know the root cause of their alopecia. They're just going based on people lying to them saying it's genetic. But for me, that has been suffering majority of the best time that I'm supposed to be dating and enjoying life and doing everything in my 30s. Is when everything start, early 30s, when everything start crumbling down with weight, with the hair loss, no matter what I did or what I didn't do. And so even eating right, you can still deal with arthritis or rheumatoid arthritis, and it's just based on your health. Now, if you have high stress in your family or high stress in your life, and you sometimes people don't know what high stress is. My reference of high stress is your daily activities that you may get into with people, and you don't consider it being a high stress. Anyone that can push your nerve. So even if your heart has been broken from being a baby mama, baby daddy, or parent and child relationship injuries, meaning you don't get along with your parents or you don't get along with your siblings or just anyone, or you're having complications at work, that stress alone impacts your health. And usually, majority of all illness is based on the triggering of stress. Stress is what generates the negative energy that causes these diseases. It is a root cause of your disease. Even though it's a symptom, but it is still part of that root cause of that symptom. And when you have stress, even if it's minor, it triggers your health problems. And I have to touch bases on this because I've been in high stress because of a lot of things. People not caring or jealous or envious, and they try to destroy your livelihood and think it's funny. Whether if it's a slander, whether if it's a libel review, or whether if it's trying to steal money and not pay for a service. No matter if they even trying to steal by pretending to be working at your company and they steal money by saying that and making money from ignorant people that's paying for a service under your name but not presenting the quality nor as part of your company. That's a lot of stress. Stress is even if it's a family or family members or someone's connected and they lie and slander and they defame your business or your work, even if it's a regular 9 to 5. Those stresses like that can trigger rheumatoid arthritis to flare up and act up. You can be living a whole perfect life. So a lot of times when people having flare-ups, it's more to it than the disease itself. It's stuff that's triggering that's in their life that it's on a day-to-day basis. And you have to sometimes try to remove the stress. And sometimes it's very difficult because stress is hitting you from different directions of your life. But what I found is the less access I had of people, the better my health got. Believe it or not. The less, and what's so ironic, one doctor said, even when I was working, he said, if you don't retire from that job is going to kill you. Now, my work ethic is very on a high level. I was a great worker. But the people that I work for, some of them, not all, they were sneaky and conniving. And then you have those workers that's just like you. They were sneaky and conniving or jealous or envious, or they'll do they'll do everything that in their power to prevent you to being who you are because they want your spot, even though they don't have the ability. That's stress. Anytime that you have to go back and critique something or where a person can lie, whether if it's your employer, department manager, it doesn't make a difference if it's the president over a company. And if they slander or lie or make false allegation or try to make it appear that you're not a top tier person, that is considered stress. I've seen countless people lose their lives based on their work quality or their home environment quality or their social life quality where they came among a lot of stress that by them being ill, it took them out of this world faster. Why I say that? I've been suffering for a minute, but it does not break me because I have to keep in my mind, what is the mission? Do I respect the Creator, or do I take people that and put them in the place as the Creator? I choose the Creator. I have more faith than the people that's speaking against me or may have said something against me and not be aware the word choices matter. My looks doesn't have anything to do with my condition. Some people's condition is taken to a toll where it's evidence because they don't have faith, and so the illness or the demonic forces take over their bodies and destroy their outer appearance. Now, sometimes you can see sickness through the darkness here. The more defined dark it is, the more I'm suffering. Then sometimes I can just brighten up and I look fine. Just because I look fine does not mean that my cells is not attacking me. I'm just saying. And they say, how do you keep smiling? Because that's just God in me. I've been like that ever since I was a child, a happy child. So my joy comes from the Creator. I can't do that. He put me on here as a person with joy and happiness. Doesn't mean that I don't have any sad moments. Does not mean that when I say I'm okay, does not mean that I'm okay. Just because I'm in joy does not mean that I'm not sick. Just because I'm moving around and doing things does not mean I'm sick. There's people that can drop dead instantly with a smile on their face and just in motion. Death does not have a respect of person, whether you're ill or healthy. I just decided to share this with you because sometimes we put man on a pedestal if they are the Creator that breathes life in us. You pay your money to go to a doctor. Whether if it's $0, $20, $30, $15, $10, $5, $100, $200. It doesn't make a difference how much you pay to go seek your doctor or your specialist. Or you go to an ER and they misdiagnose you because they're assuming based on their knowledge. Because if they don't have that much experience in the field, they're just taking I'm going to say an uneducated guess. Some people say educated guess, but it's not an educated guess if you're not sure. They're they're trying to come up with a situation that they're not familiar with. If I say, I'm not sure there's a rheumatoid arthritis, this means I'm familiar with the type of pain that I'm feeling. I've never had that type of flare-up. I've had something more severe, but not none where I could not physically stand up and walk on my right foot, as if everything was broken and shattered. I've had some that make my feet bend all the way back like that in the opposite direction, and I was in excruciating pain, and it took the ambulance to get me some medicine to relax me, and then they took me to the ER, and that's when they even diagnosed me more with rheumatoid arthritis. I don't have it on a consistent basis. Some days it's dormant and some days it's not. Some days it may go unnoticed for years, and then all of a sudden it may be that one trigger point that my cells decide to say, it's something in the body that's foreign. So the emergency doctor sent me to a podiatrist because it's a foot issue. They have a doctor, when you have insurance or you have cash, they have doctors for every part of your body. This doctor only deals with the foot and ankle only, nothing more. He doesn't do the calf, he doesn't do the knee. He actually specializes on that part only, and that's it. And he went up every bone in my foot to determine that it was a rheumatoid arthritis. And please call your doctor as soon as possible. but he got $20. Was it worth it? It was kind of worth it because couldn't put a point. I couldn't figure out why did I wake up and with no warning. Only thing the warning I can think of, and it'll be a warning that I can remember, I felt constipation prior to this. Is if for 2 or 3 days, is if I had to shit but couldn't shit. And then, let me use the right term because some of y'all get offended. If I can release my bowels, but every time I go, it was like a big old ball that was inside of my stomach on my left side, like it was a big turd. In actuality, I hadn't had a lot to eat. But it can flare up and cause to make you have intestinal problems and bowel problems, even eating on a healthy diet. I had only ate beans, which is healthy, it's a fiber, and cabbage, but it felt like that I had ate a lot of greasy food. And then, even after going to the ER, I felt as if I had irritable bowel. It's like it triggered my irritable bowel syndrome, and I hadn't had anything to eat. So today, me being able to release myself, it still didn't come out constipation. So what I'm saying is, these signs and pains and aches can trigger the cells can have it thinking that it's something else going on, and it can trigger and it mess up everything inside of your intestines. Rheumatoid is not the only illness that does that. It's others that does that. But since mine attacks and act like it's foreign inside the cells, it attacks healthy parts. Yeah, it'll go back to normal. I have to hobble on a boot for a minute. And just because it feels good doesn't mean I need to take the boot off. I can counterbear weight, but I still need to keep on to the whole process because I don't want to re-injure and make it worse than what it is, like the doctor said. That's how a lot of people end up with getting their foot and different other surgeries because they don't study or they don't read and understand what's going on in their body. So what I do is a lot of resting because rheumatoid arthritis make you tired as hell. It makes me. Now, how I feel, the next person may have a totally different outcome. It could be the horriblest situation. It does not take away from me, because just because that person is in a horrible situation does not mean that the suffering is any greater or less. My less looking like rheumatoid arthritis is more devastating, even though it may not look like it. I'm going to call it the beautiful rheumatoid arthritis sufferer, because what it does is it tends to poke me, to damage me, but do it in a graciously way where it doesn't physically deform me so far. I've had one grandparent, which is my great-grandfather. No, it's not my great-grandfather. It's my actually grandfather. My dad's father that suffered one of his complications, rheumatoid arthritis. So I don't mind sharing. But stress and worries, whether if it's worrying about your child, the injustice of them mistreating your children, or even if it's something that happened to him in school or her in school, little small things can trigger health problems. It can trigger a stroke. It can trigger a heart attack. I just want you to be clear that don't take your health lightly. Even though they may tell you something, fact find for yourself what they're trying to treat you for or with has a lot to do with your long term of living, of longevity. Because sometimes what they're prescribing you causes more damage than the disease itself. Hope I give you something to take away from this.
He had a rheumatoid flare.
I hadn't had one in a minute, I don't believe, yeah.
Okay. What are you on for? How long have you had rheumatoid arthritis?
Oh, I've been diagnosed ever since probably 2010 or 12,
And
probably early.
Okay. What are you taking for rheumatoid?
It's I can't even think of the name of it.